Hi there, I'm Joan Green of Green Art Labs, and I'm an affiliated artist with the Climate Science Alliance. And I'm so excited to be here with you today. Thank you for coming to the 2020 San Diego Climate Summit. We're glad to have you, and I wish we were in person, but we're safe at home, and I hope that you're ready to get creative. Today we're kind of taking a break and doing some art together. So something that I find that's really powerful is making vision boards or dream boards. And I thought we could do one today that is about the climate hope that we have. So I really appreciate you all being here and all that you're doing to help the environment. And that's really important to me as well. I like to reuse a lot of materials in my art. And so today we're going to be finding things from around our home to make a dream board or a vision board. So I think you've all gotten the list of things that you'll use, but basically we'll need some kind of base to make the board, to make the vision board. You can use I'm using kind of a back of some artwork that I did, but you can use anything that you have at home. It can be as simple as maybe if you've got like a sketchbook, you can use a paper from your sketchbook, or if you've got kids, you can use, maybe some artwork from your kids. You could do it right on top of this. You can also reuse some things like cardboard. We've all got a lot of cardboard around, so cardboard is a great material for the base of our vision board. Even boxes. Boxes are kind of cool. I like to use three-dimensional pieces sometimes in my art. So, this vision board can be really small if you want to just put it on like a little shelf that you have at home. So small is fine, or larger is fine too. Whatever you have around the house. Anything can serve as the base for this vision board. So once you determine what your board is, you're also going to need to have some magazine cutouts. So I kind of went through my Sierra magazine and Yes magazine. I'm sure you've got a lot of Earth-centered magazines around your house, but anything will work. Whatever you've got that has some images and some words on it, that's what we're going to use to make this collage. So collage is when you take paper and you glue it onto another board or paper. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So you've got your base, you've got some magazine pictures that you like, and when I go through my magazines, when I'm feeling creative, I just kind of pull out the pictures that speak to me. So it can be an image or a color or words that you like. So just kind of go through what you have and see, what speaks to you, and just pull it out, and then we'll figure out where it's going to go in a little bit. You can also use some scrap paper. So if you've got any papers that are colorful around your house, you can use those. We're also going to need some kind of adhesive, so you can use a glue stick or some white glue, or tape would work also if you've got that. So whatever you have at home is fine to use. And also we're going to need something to write with. So I've got a lot of markers. I'm going to use a marker, but you can use a marker, a Sharpie, a pencil. We're going to start out by doing some writing. So gather your materials, and then we're going to get started. So what I like to do first when I'm sitting down to do some art is I like to, just on a scrap piece of paper, I like to write down anything that I'm thinking about. Sometimes we're really in our heads a lot, so I like to kind of write down something that I want to let go of before I start my creative process. So I'll give you a minute to do that, and I'll do that as well. I'm just going to write down, this thing whatever that's in my head that I just need to kind of get away from right now before I do my art. So once you've got your your thing that you want to let go of, just kind of fold it up, and you can just actually throw it across the room because we don't need that right now. So we're going to let that go, and we're just going to be really here working from our heart and trying to get in touch with our creativity. So what we're going to do first is just take your base, and we're going to do some writing. It's kind of like a stream of consciousness writing, where you're just kind of getting your thoughts and feelings out about climate hope. So this is a climate hope vision board, and so we're speaking through our art about climate hope. So Just write any words, any thoughts, any ideas that come to you about climate hope. And I'd like you to try to write, just write in one direction, and then in a little bit we're going to turn the base and then write in the other direction so that nobody will be able to read this. So this is just for you, and no one's going to see your writing because we're going to kind of mask it with more writing. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that, and I'll finish mine too. Once you have everything written on your board or your sketchbook or whatever your base is, then we're going to kind of turn it so that you're writing in the opposite direction. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to just kind of write in the opposite direction so that it is going to cover all of this so that nobody can read what I wrote. So it's very personal, and it's just for us. And this actually, the reason I do this is because I like to put a lot of my energy into my art, and I like to, get thoughts and feelings out. That's a really important part of my artwork. So we're kind of just putting it all into this art piece, into this material that will be infused with how we feel about the earth and what we want to do for climate hope. I'm just going to show you. So as you can see at the top here, now my writing is pretty much masked by other writing, and this is going to give a nice texture to the base of our vision board. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to fill this all with my words and my thoughts, and then we'll get to the next step, which is gluing on some of our images and words from the magazines. Okay, so I'm finished. If you need some more time, please take the time that you need. But I wanted to show you how cool this looks. So I really like how it gives a nice texture for the base of my art piece. And I like how you can't read what I wrote. Only, it's just kind of like a little special secret for myself and just kind of knowing how I feel about things. And we don't always have to share everything with everyone. So it's kind of nice to have this be very personal. And yeah, so now what I'm going to do is through that stream of writing, hopefully I've come more in touch with what I feel is my climate hope. And so in doing that, I'm going to be looking in magazines and, trying to pick magazines that have a lot of earth-centered imagery and words in them. I really like how Sierra, how they have so many words like that. It's all about nature and the earth and taking care of it. So in mine, I found lots of imagery, lots of words that I connect with. And so I'm just kind of going to pull out those. And then I'm just going to try to glue them onto my board over the words. And I like it when the whole space is filled up. So that's my personal opinion. You can do it however you like, but I do like it when, there's quite large graphics. And then I'm just going to kind of put other images over that. So, for example, let's see, we might start with this one. I really also like this. So I'm just going to kind of place these so that they're overlapping so that I can see lots of different images about my climate hope. So now you can do that. You can get your magazine pages out and you can cut them or tear them. I wanted to show you something that I think is really cool. I actually like to tear my magazine pages, and I don't know if you ever noticed this, but if you tear this way, there's not a white line at the bottom, but if I tear the opposite way, there is, and I don't know, I just find that pretty fascinating. So when I tear that way, you can see the white line on the magazine. But when I tear the opposite way, you can't, and I just think that's kind of a cool thing. So don't know if you've ever noticed that, but tearing is kind of nice because it gives a really organic line to the images, which I think is cool. So yeah, so now we're just going to spend some time kind of picking out the images that we like and then gluing them onto the board to represent your climate hope. Again, hopefully through your writing, you kind of came up with a few ideas of what your climate hope is. I work with a lot of kids, and I always tell them, I always show them this from the Climate Science Alliance. It's the 10 things that kids can do to help the earth. And I feel like these are great things for adults to do too. I'm sure you guys are pretty seasoned at taking care of the earth since you're here at the summit, but these are kind of nice to check in with about yourself, so just, using less electricity, saving water, recycling, picking up trash, planting a garden. Now during the pandemic, we have more time to hopefully do some of these things and take better care of the earth. So I feel like that's a great outcome of what's happening right now. But also since we're adults, we can go bigger and just kind of think of the actions that we want to take in this dire time of the earth and just trying to really do everything that we can to help protect and take action to help. So I hope that you can enjoy this process of just tearing the images and gluing them onto your board. And then, yeah, I'll give you some time to do that now. I really like reusing things in my art. We really have so many things in our homes that we can use as art materials. So I rarely buy new things for making art. I use a lot of found things around the house, and I like to work in a lot of sculptural ways. So, more three-dimensional kinds of things. And so I think it's just kind of fun to find things around the home that you can use. And then it's great for kids too. If you're a parent, or if you have kids in your life, it's great to kind of expose them to that idea, and they start seeing all the possibilities and things that we usually throw away. And it's just important for the environment to reuse things. So that's why I do that in my art. And it just kind of feels better too when you have a use for something, and when you're not just throwing it away. I think a lot of us, care so much about the earth, and we don't want to waste things. So it's important to try to find reuse ideas for things. And art making is really important during these times. We've been given this pause, and I just think it's a beautiful time to really connect with yourself. I firmly believe that when we're really connected with our own creativity, that really helps us to be healthy and more centered. And then we can kind of have that emanate outward to our families and to our friends and our communities and to the world. So I really feel like connecting with your own self is so important for that. And we can do that through art making. So we just learn a lot about ourselves through art making. And most of the art making that I do is all about, it's about the process of art making. So sometimes things turn out great and sometimes they don't, but it's all kind of about the process. And I'm hopeful that when you look at this vision board that you're doing about climate hope, that you'll see that, and then you'll remember what your hope is. And when you put this vision board somewhere where you see it daily, then it's just a really great reminder for your actions and just making the earth a priority and your hope a priority. And doing that as a visual is just really powerful. So I hope that this will lead you to a lot of goodness for the earth. So I've just glued on one large image here, and then I'm going to cover it with some other images over the top. I'm just using a glue stick, but again, if you have tape or white glue, you can use any of those things. Something I like to do too is before I glue things down, I kind of like to play with the placement of them. So for this, I'm kind of trying to decide, should it go at the top or at the bottom, just kind of playing with the placement before I actually glue it down. A lot of people say that that they're not an artist, and I don't know. People seem to have quite a, I don't know, just different definitions for what an artist is. I really think that we're all artists and that we're all creative. And if I gave all of us the same materials, we would all do something totally different. And so that tells me that we're all artists in our own way. And I just think it's important to know that about yourself. And when we go and see an art show in a museum or in a gallery, we're always seeing the finished art piece that the artist did, but we don't see all the times that it took to get to that place. So I think that's really important to know about artists, that it takes a lot of times, a lot of practicing to get to that one piece that's on the gallery wall. So I hope that you'll be gentle with yourself and enjoy the process and not get too tied up in the does it look just right or all that kind of stuff. I feel like we're kind of hard on ourselves about that. So just have fun. That's what this is all about. We're just enjoying the process. I think think I said this before, but make sure that you add some words too. Any words that you find in the magazines are great to add to your dream collage for the earth. One of my goals is to just spend more time out in nature and really try to prioritize that in my life. Sometimes we get so busy that we forget to go out and enjoy. So I'm putting this on my vision board. I don't know if you can hear, but I think we have a Cooper's hawk in the neighborhood, and so that's been a really cool thing that has happened in our neighborhood. Just with fewer people around, some of the wildlife has come back, which is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna do one more little addition to my Climate Hope vision board, and I hope that you'll keep working on this. We've got I think we're spending about 15 minutes on this right now, but hopefully, later on today after the summit, maybe you'll get some time to add details to your board and just keep working on it. And again, if you place it somewhere where you can see it every day, that's really going to help you to really prioritize Climate Hope and to actually take action and do the things that we need to do to prioritize the earth. When you're complete with your vision board for Climate Hope, I hope that you'll share it with your family or friends and tell them what it means to you. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can always write on the back about what it means to you, because it's really pretty cool to get the feeling of just where your head was at when you were making this. It's kind of important to remember that. A lot of times I'll look back at my art pieces, and because I've written on the back about what I was thinking of at that time, it really helps to describe what the art piece was about. So that's always helped me. So this one, I really like this a lot because I feel like it's pretty simple, but it says exactly what I want to do for Climate Hope. I just want to enjoy the wilderness more, exploring more in the forest. And if you can see here, I've got a little somebody on the water right there. So I hope to be on the water more often and just in the trees, and just something that I would add for this. And sometimes it's nice to critique yourself. What do you like about this? I really like the large words. I really like the forest, and I like how I filled the whole board. Something that I would want to change or do differently is I'd like to add more about. I'd like to get more involved with legislation and just kind of helping with more activism. So I think I'll add some words or imagery about that. So that's what I'll do next. And yeah, I hope you've had fun today. This is all about having fun and enjoying by getting your hands moving. We've been on Zoom all day, but it's nice to get your hands moving and get your creativity flowing. So I hope you enjoyed and have a great rest of the summit. Thank you.